What's the dumbest way you injured yourself? Either as a kid or adult? Okay, this happened when I was 17. Me and my boyfriend were hanging out at the time, and it was really late, and I was searching for something to eat. I found a bun and needed to cut it open. So I looked around and could only find the biggest knife in the kitchen. So I decided to hold the bread with one hand and use the knife with the other, kinda holding both in the air. YIDKY, and well sliced right through the bun straight into my hand. I was in so much shock I could only call for my boyfriend, just holding my now gushing bleeding hand. He came in freaking out, and I had to stay calm even though I just sliced straight through my hand. My parents were wasted, and my dad tried to tie a fluffy sock around my hand. When she did that, I tried screaming but nothing came out. It was terrible. In the end I somehow got to the doctors, and I got a burger after, so hey, I'm an idiot. And also the amount of times I have stood straight on an exposed nail is just insane. I recall going through my dad's stuff in his garage and gripped a little too hard on what seemed to be a silver, very small postcard. It was a razor. Oh no. I was trying to film myself bench pressing to check my form, but from a bird's eye view. So I put my iPhone hanging off the edge of a bar directly above where I was laying and started recording. Forgot to take into consideration that when I rack the bar, it's going to shake the home gym setup I have. Well, it did, and the phone came down directly onto the bridge of my nose. It was the corner of the phone that hit me and opened up a small gash, but it was deep and bled a lot. The video was me benching, the phone crashing into my face and then onto the ground. Then a very audible "Arduck." I deleted it out of embarrassment right after, and I really wish I kept it. I still have a small scar there years later. Derp. I sense great moments. Random person, did you get this scar in a fight? Well, my dumbest was when I was trimming trees. I saw a nasty looking bug on my left arm and tried to swat it off with my right hand while still holding the saw. There was a lot of blood. Dumbest injury I've ever witnessed was my cousin when he was little. His parents were getting him ready for a bath, but he decided to run around naked and jump in a big empty box. When jumping into the box, he managed to get his scrotum caught on a staple and tear it wide open. Upvoting so you lot can suffer too. When I was 1, I fell off my bed and my tooth fell out and turned black. Edit, since everyone is asking. It was my tooth that turned black. When I was young, I tried to eat the windowsill. Apparently a couple of my teeth went gray. My parents realized what I'd done when they saw the bite marks. Lead poisoning. Think I posted this one before, but back in HS, I used to bear crawl around the track for a workout. This led to a seriously gnarly blister that covered my entire palm. I went to a friend's place and we were trying to play Sparks, but I couldn't grip the controller. So I ripped the blister completely off, leaving a completely raw palm, and washed all the liquid away. I asked him if he had any antibiotics spray to clean it. We checked, and the closest thing he had was leather cleaner that said kills 99% of germs. So I'm like, yeah, that seems legit. Sprayed it on my hand, and alls I remember is hearing the hiss it made on my skin before I blacked out and hit my head off the table. Didn't have a concussion or anything, but had a headache for a few hours. Why did you bear crawl? I'm guessing because doing a bear crawl around a track is harder than running. Bear crawls are difficult as hell. Was making pasta, poured it into the strainer in my sink, and noticed the water wasn't draining. I had left the plug in the drain. Silly mistake. I thought I'll just reach right into the water and pull that out. I can see this happening very easily. I woke up with an itchy neck. Kids, don't grow up. I woke up oof. Been there. Open bracket. Not me, but my dad broke multiple bones in his foot when he was cleaning the pool by slipping into the pool. 3 years of complications and infections, and it's still not 100% better, all because he didn't watch where he put his foot. If people asked how he broke it, he would say he broke it big wave surfing lol. We have a pool, and the number of times I have almost fallen in is quite astounding. Worst was right after a blizzard. I went out to brush snow off some bushes and the patio furniture and almost fell in them. I'd have died for sure. I complain about my pool in Australia getting cold in winter. I can't even imagine how good that would have been if you fell in. I worked as a loader for ups in the late 1990s. The semi-trucks, not the brown trucks. We had little safety phrases we were supposed to follow, courtesy of OSHA. One was, do not lift packages by straps or bands. Who follows the safety phrases? I lifted a heavy package by the plastic straps. Both straps simultaneously snapped. I punched myself in the nose with all my strength. My nose exploded with blood. Of course. My load partner nearly injured himself laughing his ass off. That rule existing means you weren't the first one this happened to. For sure. Unfortunately, I learned through pain. Went to my friend's birthday party when I was 8. My mom told me not to go swimming. She didn't know I snuck my bathing suit with me. I jumped into the pool. Didn't realize there were concrete seats in it. Slammed my knee right into it. Took out a chunk of meat. Pool is red from my blood. You can see my bone and all kinds of shit. Now I have pain in that knee, especially when it's cold. 2 days ago I went roller skating, and since I haven't been doing it for at least 10 years I had a hard time doing anything. So when I went to the park I skated right onto the grass. Fell on my right side and now my whole arm and leg are bruised. My wrist especially, but somehow it didn't break, so it's all good. Came out to make coffee in the morning. Thought I could feel heat coming from the stove. Touched the hot plate with the back of my hand to see what was going on. 2nd degree burn. Yep. Left it on the night before. Another time. Making unlicensed pyrotechnics for a stage show. Mixed up some flash powder. Put about half a teaspoon down and lit it with a match to test it. 3rd degree burn. Yep. Works good. Let me highlight this little detail. Half a teaspoon lord. A bit NSFW but here we go. Was a typical teenage boy. Thought one day in the shower it would be a good time for some self-loving and just got to the point of coming. Someone else in the house flushed the toilet and got showered with extremely hot water. I gasped and then proceeded to black out, and because we had a shower bath combo my foot didn't make it over the bath and I fell out the shower and landed face first on the tile floor and nearly busted my nose. Luckily I was fully out by the time I hit the floor and didn't feel the impact. And before anyone asks, we had a separate toilet on the other side of the house. Even for a horny 14-year-old, wanking with someone not only in the same room but them on the toilet would be a bit too weird. I'm so sorry this happened, but so thankful you shared. For some reason all I could see was Morty from Rick and Morty this entire time. I did this to my ass and upper back in England because I messed around with the buttons on the water heater. I can get self-destructive sometimes. Also, I never learn from my mistakes when it comes to hurting myself on accident, so me touches the stove on accident and burns my hand, also me does it again moments after because why not me, but instead I'll have a pan on the stove and some part of my brain goes, I wonder how hot it is. Touch it, and then I touch it and am surprised when it's hot. Same. When I was little I broke my leg because I wanted to sit in a shopping cart. The shopping cart with my brother in it fell on top of me. So when I was younger me and my cousin were going down a big ass hill on bikes and her little sister was behind by a lot on a scooter, so I yelled stop and she made a short stop in front of me causing me to pull the brakes and flip over the handlebars wrist first. I broke both of my wrist. It was my last year of elementary school and it was the end of the school year and I didn't get to do any of the trips or parties because I had robot arms. When I was 8 I got a nosebleed because I stuck a screwdriver up my nose. I got a cut on my leg from furniture and my 9-year-old friend decided the best way was to hot glue it shut. 2 9-year-olds should never do first aid. Oh god. Was taking a shower at a hotel. Tried to squeeze conditioner out of the little travel bottles they give you. But it wasn't a squeeze bottle. It was one of the ones you just have to bang against your hand until the conditioner comes out. Lo and behold, I try to squeeze the bottle with soapy hands. It shoots out and hits me in the eye. Literally knocked myself out. My eyes welled shut. Good times. Honestly, this was the best reply I've read here. As a kid, I chipped my tooth bowling. The ball got stuck on my middle finger. The weight of the ball swinging in my arm ended up causing my feet to leave the ground. With one hand I was unable to catch myself, and my front teeth hit the ground first. Was an adult tooth, even though I was a child. So I still have the chip. I chipped my adult tooth when I was a kid cause my auntie was tickling me, and I fell face first into a chair. Auntie's other ducking worst for tickles. I overworked myself. I ripped the cartilage lining in my chest from moving too many heavy drums. I moved around 300x 50 pounds drums, pulling them off pallets and restacking them. Next day my chest was sore. Didn't think about it. Went and moved a bunch of 125 pound drums. Again next day chest really hurt. Next day filled a 20-yard dumpster with pallets. Next day massive sharp pains in my chest. Thought I was having heart problems. Went to the doctor. Heart checked out fine. I tried doing certain movement. Agonizing pain. Tells me it'll take 3-6 months to heal. Me being stupid, I kept working plus doing things in the weekend. Took over almost 2 years to heal. I ran headlong into a wall. Split my chin. 6 years old. Corner of the wall, and it was my lip. 4 to 5 years old. Went to Maui, Hawaii for our honeymoon. The hotel balcony was 10 yards from the ocean. Dropped our bags and proceeded to walk straight into a very clean glass door. Hurt my nose and gave myself a black eye. You could see the imprint of my whole face on the glass. First time we went to Mexico with our 2 kids. I went out onto the balcony to see the view. I shut the sliding door because a count was on. My husband and daughter walked straight into the glass door and bounced right off. Their nose prints were there for the week. Lol. Sitting on the hood of a friend's parked car, I pretended to get hit by the car by acting like my head hit the windshield. Well, I hit the windshield and chipped my front tooth. I was playing with my cousin and dropped a Barbie horse on my face. The hoof sliced my right through my right nostril and my nose was cut right open. It took 7 stitches to fix, and I still have a scar. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.